Okay, so the next is on me. This is the privacy chain product that Richard talked about earlier in our working group updates. So this is a product that was donated to us by LiveRamp. They had created it as part of their research and development work. And last year in October, we took over the governance of privacy chain and put it out in open source Apache 2.0 license on our GitHub. Since then, there have been teams working on it. Like Richard mentioned, Arthur Coleman took the lead, set up a whole team around privacy chain for product, for doing the marketing, the outreach, as well as the engineering. And right now, Wendell Baker, who's leading the effort from Verizon Media with his team and doing a lot of the development work on it. So it's basically was conceived as an evolution of the current technology, allows all members of supply chain to more easily share the data consents they have implemented. So it's a core management of privacy consents or permissions, over which you can apply things like TCF or the other laws of other regions can be applied on top of it. It's basically consent management and movement of consent. I think that's one of the key parts of it, like how the consent moves across when you resell or sell the data to another party. The consumer can see all of that. And then the movement tracking of the data. And of course, once you capture that in a shared database, it allows the opportunity to audit and properly review everything. So this is the working group. These are some of the companies who've been actively participating in helping the product definition and the vision for privacy chain. We've got like 40 volunteers representing different companies. And then we're doing coordination with the TCF working groups based on their revisions as to what needs to go as core features versus what become features specific to a particular framework. So like I said, Arthur Coleman founded this. He's now at OpenX. Current leadership is Wendell from Verizon. Joe from LiveRamp was one of the original engineers, and he still helps with the product. Lily from Viacom, she's here today. She's been helping with the product definition, and then Kees from NIAX and Vladislav from NIAX are also helping with the product and engineering. So this is like an engagement model that we put through for privacy chain, that anybody who wants to engage or help with the product and the project must provide a PM and engineer so that they can help contribute towards the development. Work and review the specifications, help with the governance, design the policies and guidelines, like how do we onboard new partners, how does the operationally, how does it get governed, and then prototype, that is build your own test bed, spin up a node, and then we'll soon launch the beta, so go live with as a beta partner. So these are some of the proposed functions for the beta that we plan to launch in July this year. It'll be a Hyperledger Fabric based platform. And then there'll be APIs for endpoints. So not everybody needs to be on the node. We realize that not every company or every partner would want to have a node. So we have the endpoints that are required to submit and retrieve the data. And then the objective of the beta is to test scale, that how much scale can we achieve with the current the stack that has been selected, the stability and the retrieval and the response times. So this is a quick timeline that we are right now working on the PRD development and the beta functions. And then in July, we plan to open it up for beta network participation, where a company can come in and have their own node and start participating by contributing or putting their data onto the system. So I'll do a quick demo of what we have today. This is a little lesser than the beta functionality, but this was kind of the alpha version that we have. And this is just to show everyone that it's not on the PowerPoint and paper. There's something real that's really behind the GitHub. switch. Okay. So yeah, the way this works is that there's an actor that the primary collector of privacy permissions, which is like in this demo. This is the website. This is the website where you go and either you sign in or there is some other form that they can collect your privacy permissions. So I'll quickly just add. These demos always take a little bit of time. Okay. So now you kind of sign into the site, and then it has your basic privacy and the data that you're allowed to collect, and it shows up here that I've given permission on this date for my name, email, location, and gender to be used by this website. Now the next thing what we can do is that, and these are the two nodes that are right now working. Oops. And then these nodes, so we'll see the data getting updated on both the nodes. So now what I can do is, suppose this Great Shoes sites wants to run a campaign or wants to create targeted segments, and then decides that they want to give this data to some other company to actually do the advertising. So we'll do that transfer of data. So now this company can transfer the data to the ad agency, and once that step is done, we can see that it shows up in the user's privacy preferences that now that data is available not just to Great Shoes but also to an ad agency, and then the user has the option to manage those permissions. So now you can see the data movement that Great Shoes gave this to ad agency, and then you have the location, name, email, and gender was the data that was provided. So that's the core functionality today that we have, and we're making a little bit more improvements to have more APIs. So all of the steps that I showed you through the web pages can actually be done via APIs, and it can be updated. So now this, the idea behind this is that it shows the movement of data, the propagation of data, and has full transparency to the consumer where actually the data is, and who has access to it and who's controlling it, and then they can come to this primary data collector's privacy settings to control and manage that data.